Okay, good afternoon, gents. Friday, another week is about to leave us. It's amazing how quick these weeks go. We're nearly, what are we now? A week away from halfway through August. It'll be Christmas before you know it. Okay, so quickly about this chart. I came in around about here, which is a shame because that looked like a lovely second entry. We're clearly making lower highs and lower lows, and that looked like a real cracker. Unfortunately, it had already happened, but it really pushed down. ATR is really high at the moment, 3.34, so it's double what it usually is. And there's obviously upsides and downsides. The downside is the bars are obviously a lot bigger, hence more risk, but you can really get more points. So you'd have comfortably got five points and some out of that. Even just to come down to these lows, you'd have picked up about 6 or 7 points. So we'll see. There was a possible hidden second entry there. I was looking. You can clearly see it reacting to yesterday's lows. So we started off, we opened, came down, and we do seem to be slowly so far working down. So I'll have to just keep an eye on that. So Groll Daddy, how you doing, bud? How you doing, what? Okay, so the 90% is gone. Hopefully it won't be long before it returns. We're down to 50% off resets and 50% off evaluations. My honest advice, if you need a reset, I don't mind paying $40 for a reset, but I wouldn't pay half price for an evaluation. So I would say hold on. I'll be surprised if we don't get one within the week, maybe even sooner. Let me just check my email, and have I deleted it? I might have done. Okay, let me just go on the website and find out how long this particular offer is on for, because I don't think it will be long. They tend to have one for a week maximum. That gives them then the option to monitor things and adjust accordingly, but people just aren't paying the 50% off, and I don't blame them, to be honest with you. I'm not either. So let me have a look. Okay, it doesn't say actually. Usually says on the home screen, but there's nothing there. But I believe it's on for a week. I will find out. So, hey Rodian, how you doing, bud? So it'll be late evening for you, Rodian. That's the one sort of downside, or I don't know, maybe an upside of trading the other side of the world. You're about, I believe you're about 11 hours ahead of me in the UK. So what does that make us? About 20 past 1 in the morning. Does that sound about right? Lousy day, I busted 3 evals. Oh, mate, I've done a dozen myself over the last week. You're not on your own there, pal. Chin up, mate. That's the trouble, really. It's great that they're cheap, but the thing is, when something's that cheap, it's not a lot of cost to lose it, and obviously you make a judgment call in what you're going to lose in life, don't you? You know, if you're driving around a $200,000 car, you're going to be really careful with it. If you're driving around a $250 car, it's not an issue, is it? You know, it's not a worry. And that's the downside. It's great that they're cheap, but you do blow a lot more. So it does make you wonder whether it costs you more in the long run, which is a real shame. So afternoon, everyone. Do Apex ever do a sale? No, they've never done a sale on any of the monthly, whether it's the monthly or the one-off. Never. They figure if you've passed an evaluation, you've got no choice but to buy it. So you know, you don't have a choice about a PA. You either do an evaluation. You're not going to turn a PA down, are you? So hey, Speedy, how you doing, pal? So yeah, that's the downside to that. So I don't know what we're going to have here. I've been looking here, but I don't want to get caught out on something poor. There's not really anything there, in all fairness. That is just a big green bar followed by a big red bar. It's not what I would consider a high or low, really. And my concern is we do this, we pull down and push out. There's always that possibility. Sometimes I just get a feeling about things, the way something looks. I was hoping we'd get something quite bearish there, in which case, but it was a shame to miss that one, because that is about as your bread and butter trade as you can find. It's a beautiful second entry. We got one leg up, drop back, another leg up, pushed right up here, dropped and finished on its lows. As far as I'm concerned, we're clearly making lower lows. I mean, we've touched this a couple of times there, but you can consider that a close enough touch. It's clearly working along that line, and obviously the way it's come back, and it's done exactly the same. So for me, it's clearly in a downtrend. You missed the same one, yeah. Frustrating thing is as well, the ATR being high, even if you'd have gone down to these lows. Let's see, if you'd have taken the trade about, say, there, and you'd have gone down to these lows, look, there's over 3 points there, but in all fairness, on a trade as this good, the good setups really go, and in all fairness, that went down 10 points. But what I'd have probably done is brought my take profit down here, waited for that bar, and then dropped my order in here and secured myself about 2 points, and then followed the bars down. And once we're below there, I'd probably drop it here somewhere, but I generally take 2 or 2.25 points. But if I do see a really good trade in a downtrend, I will try and get more out of it. That's the only scenario I will do that, which doesn't often happen, really. We don't often see great setups like that obvious. Perfect second entry. Short, one leg, two leg. Doesn't get any more obvious than that. And if one of those does occur, which is in a nice position, in a downtrend or uptrend, I will try and go, because you know, so many times you struggle to make your points, but that one, you can see how that went. Why? Because a lot of traders jumped straight in that. As soon as that dropped across like that, it just dropped. Because a lot of traders are seeing that and thinking that's a beaut. So there's no argument there. That's what I mean. These obvious trades, they really move. So it is worth trying to get a few points, in my opinion. So no trades yesterday, unfortunately. I did a trade earlier on an evaluation, but apart from that, no trades on my PAs yesterday. A couple of in fact, how long have we got? Well, we got 5 minutes. Let's just have a quick look. Yesterday, a couple of trades and why I didn't take them. Let's pick. I don't want to pick on anyone specific. I'll tell you what, let's pick on Marco. I'm only doing it because in my opinion, he's a good chart reader. And I won't bring his name up. I'll just bring his chart up if I can. There we go. Okay, this is a chart from yesterday. Can I zoom into this? I can, yeah. Now, a few people said to me about this, and I had a discussion with someone last night about this particular trade. Now, we know we had that really strong push up yesterday, and we had a break. And my concern was we had a couple of legs down, and then we went sideways. My concern, it may trap some shorts and then push up. Because in a lot of cases we'll have a break in the way of 2 legs, and that was 2 legs, and then we went up, and yeah, it sort of looked like a triple test, or it was a bit lower there. But now obviously Marco's a way more experienced trader than me, and that did move. So, but the trouble is, when you do get such a strong push up, and at that time we weren't looking at a range, you generally expect another leg and another sort of, you know, push up to retest these highs, and we didn't even really try to push up higher. So that was my concern. And that one made it, so you could say that was a leg and that was a leg. So when we had this and a little bit of congestion, I left that one because I thought that may trigger and have another leg up and work up for these highs. So that's the reason why I left those two. That one there at the time, now the more I look at it, the more I like it. Now, Mac, you'll see, he'll have his trend channel from this first tick to the next swing, which was here. So when you look at it like that, that actually doesn't look that bad, but I had mine slightly steeper, I think, which is why. Now, I've had this discussion before. I like taking my trades right close to the EMA, but I have heard Max say multiple times now, it's more important that it fits the channel on a second entry than the EMA. Now, if it fits both, even better, but it's more important. The channel's more important than the EMA. So if you ever see a trade like that again, you've heard it from me, because I've been avoiding these trades as well. So that's the reason I left that one. And that, we had a channel, we had a break, and we'd had a new low. So, I don't know, I just left it. And same again, we'd already had a break and a new low, and it was a ways from the EMA. Now, I don't know what trades Marco took here, whether he took them all. I don't think he'd have took them all. That one I think he probably would have taken. Not sure about he may have taken that one, but maybe one of these. But I like to have a discussion, really, because it helps me. Hopefully it helps you guys on why trades are missed. But I always compare mine to other people, and I thought, so what do I think about these trades? The way he's drawn that looks fine to me. That one I'd have still been a bit unsure, because we'd had a break and a new low. It doesn't mean we're not going to go lower, but we could drop here and we could push up a bit to here and then drop again. But he marked it. He may not have taken it. I don't know. Knowing Marco, he takes 1 or 2 a day, but he's a better, more experienced chart reader than me. So I'm using this as an example, not because I'm picking on anything, because I value his experience. He's always been nice, friendly and polite, and supportive and helpful to me. So we've got about a minute left, so let's have a look. Wouldn't mind. Oh, sorry, I apologise about that. I keep forgetting. Sorry. Problem solved. Let's have a little look. What have I missed? Hi, hey Alex, how you doing? Exponential, how you doing, pal? David, yeah, I sorted that out especially for you, mate. I can hear that book map. Yeah, okay. It is a pain in the arse. In fact, I must find out one day what that noise actually does. It sounds a bit odd, doesn't it? I don't know whether it's the sounds of the... I don't know. I should look into it one day. But anyway, yeah, it's kind of nice to have a discussion about trades, because there was a few around. But as we've discussed, my patience level's pretty good at the moment, and I'm getting very strict. I may even be getting a bit over strict on some trades. At some point, I think it's about trying to find balance. You don't want to be throwing money away, but you don't want to be taking 2 trades a week. So, okay, market's officially open. So let's see what happens today. But so far, so good. We're coming down in a downtrend. Now that one's, let's say we started here. We're coming away. We're coming away a bit further. This may now start to pop out. We'll have to see. But I'm not going to take a short here, because it's clearly coming away, which is telling me it's losing momentum. So we will see. Let's keep an eye on that. Okay, see how we get on. But so far, a downtrend. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to maybe. I have put that there as well. We are expecting some news in around 30 minutes. This petroleum. Prelim petroleum. Let's get my glasses on. Some prelim consumer sentiments out. Petroleum. Okay, we did have that core CPI data earlier on about the 1:30 UK time, which in all fairness, in fact, you may have not even taken that trade because of that news. The news was around about here, so trouble is, usually the news reacts immediately on the time it states, so you may even miss that one. So in fact, I'm going to get rid of that, because it was high impact news. Now, some high impact news obviously has more of an impact than others, but as far as I'm concerned, if it's got high in, I'm staying away from it. So we shall see. I haven't watched yesterday, but notice you have 1 PA. I blew that on Monday night or Tuesday night. What day are we now? Friday. I think it was Tuesday. I missed Wednesday because of my internet. Yeah. Now I've got. Yeah, I'll show you. I won't show you the codes, but I'll show you. I've got 4. Okay, 4. The PA accounts are there, so I've got 4 PA accounts, and they average a fraction over $700 each. Now the bottom 2 I had $1,000 out of each. Actually, I ordered it on the 5th. It went into my account a couple of days ago. So they would have been $1,000 more. Now, I'm getting up to this level now. I'm getting quite very protective over them. And when I get a new PA, the last 3 times I've got one, I've just done something really stupid and tried to take a stupid risk on 3 contracts to try and give it a boost. I still get that little urge sometimes, and it just, as soon as I took it, it went against me and I ended up blowing it. So I felt really angry with myself and frustrated with myself. So I said enough's enough now. Now, whether it takes me a week or 6 months to build a PA account now, I'm not taking stupid risks on it. And also I'm just trading my evaluation in the normal daytime. Going in the evenings and trying to do something is it's just frustrating me. I got to say, when I took it and lost it, I had that horrible sickening feeling, and quite frankly, I've had enough of it. I don't want to feel like that anymore. If you play things by the rules, do things by the books, you don't get that horrible sickening feeling of doing it again. So that's it, I'm done with it. So no more blowing PA accounts. I'm not saying I'm not going to blow the odd evaluation, because I'm trading this evaluation at 6 contracts, which will speed it up a bit. I don't really want to take a month to do it because I want it paying, but I'll do it enough that I know I can take 3 to 4 losses, which I never do in a row, so it shouldn't blow. But the 6 contracts, 5 good trades, and out of six trades, I'm probably averaging 1 loss, so maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks max, and I should pass it. I'll get back to the 5, and I am not taking stupid risks again. I've had enough. Okay, so protect them. Yeah, now they're around about $1,700. The 2 of them were $1,000 more, and I took a payment out, which came off a few days ago. But I daren't touch them now. I wouldn't touch them. But when I've got a new one the last 3 times and it's at nearly 0, I'm taking a stupid gamble trying to give it a bit of a boost, and it's gone against me. And someone did send me a message a few months ago with a tweet, which I've read out before. You'll keep doing this until you're sick of doing it, and you'll just stop. And I've hit that level. So. Okay, let me look at this now. I'm just wondering whether this now is a bit of a spiking channel. The reason is because it's drifting away at the bottom. I'm just going to have a little look there. That bottom actually kind of fits quite nice, so maybe that's a spike channel. Touching, see what happens here. Looks like a bit of a leg. And another leg, we'll see. I noticed Marco makes trades precisely during news last week. In fact, my honest opinion then is he's not making the trade, he's just marking the chart up. Now, Marco marks, 3 or 4 a day? I believe he only takes 1 to 2, so if he's marked it up during the news, chances are he won't have taken the trade. He'll have just marked it up later. He's probably forgotten about the news and he's marking the chart up before he posts it, but I know he doesn't take 3 to 4 trades a day. So if it is during the news, then it's not a mistake. He won't have traded it. He'll have just it just slipped his mind when he's filling his chart in, I dare say. Okay, so that has broken out of that, so I'm going to put that back. Let's put that back to where that was. And let's assume it's losing momentum and pushing up rather than changing how it fits. Now, I'm going to try and keep that right in my eye line because I've got a real bad habit of forgetting it's there. I'm not focusing on the trades. I had a bad day. And I had a new eval average $200 to $300 normal, but following the days, I had a bad day, made £600-700, around 30%, hoping I'll get a first payout. To be fair, I think it's my second payout I was surprised they actually agreed to it. because I did some stupid things with it, in all honesty. I think I made about $1,500 in a day doing something stupid, because the first one I got back in January, I took my trades on my evaluation properly, which took 10 days, I believe. And I passed that, and I got my PA account up, trading 2 contracts to about $7,000, in which I took a $2,000 payment out. And I had it looking really nice, but I had one really bad day that I should have walked away, and I didn't. I think I lost $2,300 in a day and $700 the following day, and I just never recovered from that. And in talking with other traders, it's quite common the first time you earn a bit of money, you start to get a bit too confident, a bit too full of yourself. I've made it, blah, blah, blah. And the market has got a horrible way of teaching you a lesson. So I believe you may make one, you may miss a couple, then you might make 2, then you may miss another one, and then you make 3. But it's a slow ride up anyway. But I'm definitely on the hill to making money now. I've had what have I had? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've had 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've had $10,000 in payments this year. Over about 1, 2, 3, 4. Over about 4 months out of the 7 months. So I'm still having the odd hiccup, but I've never had 4 PAs up to this level before. Now they're taking their time. 1, because I'm taking my time, I'm not taking stupid trades. And 2, market conditions are tough at the moment, and there's not a lot of setups around. Okay, so that looks to me like a leg, and that looks like another leg. So this, to me, is a breakout of this down channel. So I am expecting a new low, so it's just finding a suitable. But I keep forgetting that news is there. I'm talking about trades and forgetting. Having said that, as long as it doesn't take me to within 10 minutes of the news, and as long as it's a good setup, this is why I'd like a countdown or a flashing timer on here with the news, something I can't avoid. If anybody knows of anything, a little box on here that you could, type what you want in news and get it to flash, and even maybe make a bleep or something, just to remind you, because sometimes I get that focused I miss literally what's right in front of my nose. Okay, so leg and a push down strongly below the EMA. Let's see if we get another pullback here, because I am expecting a new low. I'll be very happy with 100-day multiple accounts. You only realise how much it is when you get to the payout target. Absolutely. Well, I've got 4 accounts there. If I got to $2,000 each, that's $8,000 for a month. That's serious money, really. It's good money. You imagine having 10 contracts, which is not difficult. You imagine getting, $5,000 in each, and then whatever you make on a month, you withdraw. So $2,000, that's $20,000 a month. That is serious money. I've never known anybody who's earned $20,000 a month. You're talking the best part of $250,000 a year then. And that's only at this level. As your accounts continue to grow, once you start to earn money like that, then you can add multiple accounts a lot quicker. It's a shame, really, that there's no entry. It just dropped. How many vals did you blow until my first payout? Oh, crikey. I can't remember. The trouble is, when they're really cheap, I blow. I take 4 or 5 at a go and blow them. Maybe. Let me have a think. I don't know, maybe 150. Yeah, maybe 150, something like that. Something like that. Blown. Well, my PAs are up to 32 at the moment, and I own 4 of them. So I would say I've blown 27. I've blown about 27, 28. I think I'd blown 9 9 or 10. No, hold on a minute. I think I'd blown, I think it was between 9 and 12 before I got my first payout. Now, obviously, you can tell the difference. I've blown way less PAs than evaluations, and the difference is one, the PAs make you money and they cost a lot more. What are they, $140? I've been paying $13 or $16 for the what's it. So I don't know, you may take that one. It's not for me though. It's a bit risky. I'd expect it to have a leg down, and it may come up a little bit higher, but it's a fair big bar, I think. That it's a 3.5 tick bar, tick above, tick below. I'm not risking 4 points on that, although I do expect it to come down here. Have you broken even on all the money you put into futures? Oh, broken even? Not yet. As I say, I've had $10,000 out. That's more, I would say, than I've paid on Apex. Yeah, so, or is it? Let me have a look. Or did I count? Let me think. Yeah, I've broken even on that. I think I worked out. Yes, I have. I've broken even on what I've paid for Apex. But I also put in about 5,000 of my own money, which I lost. I've got about £2,000 worth of screens, desk, chair, microphone, computer. So that's about 6,000-7,000, 1,000 for that. So I would say about another 8,000, let's say $9,000, and I will have completely broken even. And in all fairness, you get a decent payment or a couple of decent payments, you'll soon get your money back. I mean, if I build these accounts up to maybe 5,000 and I take 2,000, that's $8,000. I'm very nearly what I've paid for everything. But yeah, I'd say I definitely had Apex money back off Apex. And you guys actually as well in the 7 months, in all honesty, and I'm going to be honest with you, in 7 months, I think I've made about $4,000 of the evaluation codes. In 7 months, about $4,000. So that's thanks to you guys. So I really appreciate that. And what that did, that paid for a new graphics card. It paid for a new monitor, the one I punched. And it's paid for a lot of my trades. So that's thanks to you guys using my code. So, and it gives me that little bit of extra money that on top of what I'm earning, and enables me to trade full time. So that's thanks to you guys. So I got you guys helping me out. So I really appreciate that. Why did you punch your graphics card? No, I punched a monitor. After blowing a PA account, which I swore I'd never do. That was before I'd had my first payment, I think. Yeah, and I threw it out the window. So I guess that's why traders have multiple monitors. I threw it out the window and it's stuck in on the corner. And I went out to pick it out. My neighbour was outside cutting his lawn with a bit of a wry grin on his face. I used your code last night. Thank you, Sam. I genuinely do, and I said this the other day, I genuinely appreciate it when you guys use my code, because you don't have to. But what I will say is I only use it because it doesn't cost you anything more, but it does allow me to be here every day. Because with what little I've earned from trading and what the money I've earned from the affiliate code enables me to trade every day. So if you've used my code at any time, thank you. I really appreciate it. So there you go. So, and I've blown over 200 evaluations, but I know a guy who's blown over 500. But I've gone through stages with blowing 20 in a week, in a couple of days, when I've just been feeling angry and frustrated. But only when they're 90%. it's amazing how you can get through them. It really is. Taking sort of 3 or 4 at a time, just going for 10, just going for 10 contracts, trying to get lucky. But I tell you what, the market at the moment will not allow you to take that many points out unless it's a good setup. Yeah, I know someone who's over 500. I know loads of people who've done 300 plus. And that's the trouble when they're so cheap. You just double up, and try and get lucky. Which is, it's the wrong way to go about it. I think you still need some structure. Now, I've had to have a bit of a think, and I'm thinking, okay, it's not costing a lot of money, but do I really want to start throwing it away? So, let's have a look. Just scalp for 6 ticks. To be honest with you, mate, I scalp for 2 points. And you get 2 points about 98% of the time. Go through, I went through, in fact, I'll show you. I went through max charts for about 8 days. And where's that bit of paper? I went through max, I've got it here somewhere. Oh yeah, I went through max charts for, I think, about 8 days in a row. And he marked 107 trades. 105 went for 2 points and more. Over 2 points, actually, and 2 of them didn't. And fun enough, those 2 were in one day. So 2 points you'll always get. There's very few trades where you won't get 2 points. And the good setups, things like that, you'll get considerably more. If you get a good setup, you watch when you get a good setup, every man and his dog jumps on it and it moves. So you go through the charts and you find these really good setups and they just move. So I've and ahed and thought lots about it, and I've done lots of experimenting, lots of reading, lots of checking other people's charts, and the 2 points good for me. I'll just say, do you feel uncomfortable with then? I'll just say, do what you... Yeah, absolutely. We've all got our own way of doing things, but, if I, for instance, where are we? We're going cybers at the moment. If I get max charting and just show you maybe from yesterday or something quickly, you just look at the trades, straight away you'll see everyone just working for 2 points. And if you take 6 ticks or 2 points, you're making 25% extra profit. So every 4 trades, you're doubling it. So if it works 98% of the time, it's an absolute no-brainer for me. But yeah, you've got to do what's comfortable with you. If you're not comfortable doing 2 points, don't do it. So it's going sideways, so I'm not really interested. I'm not interested in shorting or longing this choppy sideways stuff, which is in a small range. Okay. So let me have a look quickly. Let me take the sounds off anyway, but okay, I'm just going to quickly bring this in, just quickly. This is max chart for yesterday, yeah, so let me pause it. Okay, that one 2 points, that one 2 points, that one 2 points, that one, these are 5s, yeah, you got 2 points, that one definitely 2 points, that one 2 points, that one 2 points, that one 2 points. Let me just forward it. That one, let's have a look. Okay, I wouldn't have taken that one personally, but that one 2 points, 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 that one. Actually, that one. We're on 5s here. That may have done 2 points. I'm not sure. That 2, that 2, that 2, that 2. Markets have been tough lately. That 2 points, that 2 points, and considerably more. In all fairness, there's nowhere in the world I'd have taken that one anyway. Not after all that lot right to these bottoms. So I wouldn't have taken that one. That would have made 2 points. That made 2 points. That made 2 points. That made 2 points. So you can see, can't you? 2 points. 2 points. They all make 2 points, really. I'd say There may have been one yesterday that didn't. But if you're making 25% more, that's if you're going from 6 ticks. If you're at 4 ticks and you're doubling it, then you've only got to get it right about 60-70% of the time, and you're in pocket. But you've got to do your own research. The numbers don't lie. But a lot of those trades, Mac marked, I wouldn't have taken anyway. In all fairness, but you can see how many go for considerably more than 2 ticks, than 8 ticks. In fact, I averaged my trades a few months ago. I went back over them, and 85% of my winning trades went for over 6 points. So even if you went for 5.5, 6 points on every trade, 85% of the winning trades you take would make 3 times what I take. So it's about trying these things out and experimenting. You'll know if you're taking a trade and you go for 2 points, and 19 times out of 20 it goes for a lot more, then you'll ask yourself the question, but I mean, Mac promotes 1 point, doesn't he? But I think the majority of people now do a minimum of 6 ticks. And not only that, you'll see me a lot of the times, if I take that bar, for instance, I'll hover, because Mac will tell you to put it 1 tick above there. I actually hover at the close and wait for it to tick above and then drop it. So I save myself a tick anyway, so I'm really only going for 7 ticks, which is, really only a tick more than you, bud. So, okay, so we got this. We haven't made a new low yet. We've made this and some sideways. So let's see what happens here. That is a second entry short there. We've got this news as it happens yet. No, it's in 5 minutes, which is a shame because I like that. That to me is 2 legs and a bearish bar right at the tops. I like that, but I'm not taking it, unfortunately. Let's see if it would have done for 2 points. There's the 2 points. It has triggered. Trouble is, we've got a news event, which is why it's going sideways. So, yeah, I know what you mean, mate. I know what you mean. But I'm at the level now where I'm not taking so many stupid trades. The trades I'm taking generally are good setups. But I know what you're saying. I'm trying to avoid taking stupid trades if I can. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Sometimes a bad choice, a slightly riskier bad choice can save your bacon a bit. But yeah, I've been doing 2 points that long now. They just really work nice for me. I've been trading 2 points now for about a year, I'd say. And they work nice. Okay, so it's going to look like that's going to be stopped out. So that's the trouble is, that's why I don't trade in a range like this, because it's about 5 ticks from top to bottom. 3.5 points, 1-to-1 ratio. I've thought about it, but what I will say, Bob, is let's have a look. 1-to-1. Well, 3.5 points is a bit more than 1-to-1, isn't it, really? Let's say if I'm taking let's say that bar for one, it was 3 points. The thing is, you're probably going to lose a little bit more, but in the long run, you'll probably make more. But I think it depends a lot on what your mental state is. If you can, let's say, for instance, you risk 1 and you make 2. You're going to make more money in your trades, but you're going to lose more. And my head, I'm trying to avoid losses a bit more, so I'm trying to take a little bit less so I can have a higher win percentage, because it's that mentality that affects me a little bit. Now, if I have 10 PA accounts with $10,000 in, then I could probably maybe look at something like that, because I can take half a dozen trades in losses without it really affecting my balance and my mind. But the way my accounts are at the moment, I'm precariously getting them up. I'm trying to just stick to a sensible scalp amount, and I'm just trying to build my accounts. But that's something maybe later on down the road. But obviously, with experience, if you're seeing 9 out of your 10 trades going 6 points or more, you're naturally going to notice it. and you're going to ask yourself the question. So if your computer goes down while you're trading, do you have some sort of backup? I've got my phone, mate. I can go straight onto the Apex website. I've got it on my phone, and I can close down trades via there, and that will cancel everything out for me. Yeah, if you just click flat, and I've had to do it once before, and it does work, and it works straight away. Not only that, one, I like the fact that I record this, so everything was recorded up until the time it goes, and then when you do click flatten, it does make a note of it, because I've had a problem before and I phoned up and they said you flattened the account at so and so a time, so it does work. It does work. Otherwise, you'd have to have two separate internet connections. The trouble is, most people only have one internet line in the house, and if we had a massive power cut or the whole area went internet down, you're kind of screwed anyway. But that's why I like having a mobile phone, because it works on a separate, it works on its own sort of roaming, so I have got that option. But what I try and do is, if I open, let's say I open something like this, I buy down, you'll usually see me having it down here well out the way. So if something were to not close or something, I've got like, what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm quite a distance away.
Order cancelled.
You'll never see me open one and just hover it here too close. I always keep it well out of the way, just in case something happens, because it can happen. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, we got 1 minute, so I'm going to stick that right there. I've done that myself, mate. I had one of my PAs, PA number 24, I think. I needed $70 to hit 2,600. So I was looking for a one contract trade. Okay, there's the news. I was looking for a one contract trade. That's unusual, that. It doesn't usually push in one direction quick. It'll often spike up and down, so it takes out both. But I was looking for a one contract trade, and I was trading 5 contracts in an evening, and I saw a nice setup. So I switched over to my PA account and then clicked buy, and what I hadn't noticed, I still had on 5 contracts, and it went against me. So check and double check if you're trading multiple different things, especially if you're trading them with different levels of contracts. Okay, so I'd say it's relatively positive news. I've even traded evals on these as well if it's pushing up nice and positive. I've just slung a buy in and got a quick, but no, it's all temporary, that. It's all luck, in all honesty. Much better to do it the proper way. Okay, so there was some slightly positive news there. In all fairness, we did seem to move up there a little bit. And after this, see, it does look like that kind of fitted, but in all honesty, if you were coming from there, you would go at the next swing here. So in all fairness, that might just be, I don't know. I think I'm waffling a bit. So what I'd say is, if this doesn't come down, it is likely we may be ranging again. So let's bring that down to maybe there for now. Let's bring it down to there for now. So there is a possibility we may start ranging a bit, and that's the one thing about ranging. If we're in a downtrend, it can just reverse. Doesn't necessarily need to make a break in a new low. And we're clearly moving up now, so let's get rid of that. Prices have settled a bit. And there looks like there's a... Let's go with that for now. It's quite positive news, actually, so we could. If this is a bit of a range, or it's likely to range, we could continue up there for a bit. Whether we'll have a break, and this then will turn into maybe something like this, it's possible. And that kind of fits in a way, doesn't it? So there is a possibility it could drop and could go wider, but just for now, I'm just going to take it from here. Put that there. You're on PA 2627. I've been trading futures for a year and a half now, still learning, stay determined, can't make millions. Yeah, isn't it Nathaniel, isn't it? Yeah, Nathaniel. Yeah, you're absolutely right, mate. The trouble is we all get inundated by these. We know how much money we can earn. It's easy to find out, isn't it? You know, you have 20 accounts, $2,000, and it gets your head full of dreams, doesn't it? And those dreams can become a reality. Sure, they can. But we try and rush too quick, and we try and jump the gun a bit, don't we? When you can make that sort of money, but you have to build it up slowly. And trying to take shortcuts is a recipe, really, for disaster. You will get lucky from time to time. And the trouble is, when you do, that keeps you trying again. Now, if you never passed an evaluation without trading one properly, you probably learn quicker. But the fact is, maybe in 1 in 8, you will get lucky. And the trouble is there, and that reinforces that bad behaviour and saying, I hope it happens again like it did, you know, way back when. But that's the problem. So, yeah, it is. And I've heard people say it's a marathon, not a sprint. And it is. But try getting that in your head to a trader who's full of beans, excited, raring to go, and with promises of making large amounts of money. Okay, I kind of like that, actually. We've gone from here and to this. Yeah, I think that's okay. Possible second entry long here. I don't know. I'm not taking anything there. Let's have a look. I like how that fits, actually. In fact, it may even widen because that looks like a top tier, so it may even come out there a little bit. And if I can bring that into there and just open that a fraction. Okay, leg down, maybe down here. Let me just check. There is some congestion up here, so we may get a bit of sideways. That may give us a second entry long. Push down here and to sit on top of there would be nice. I still find it hard taking losses. I get that horrible feeling where my hair stands on end. And I feel a bit flushed and a bit sort of in shock. It's not nice. But it doesn't affect me as much if I genuinely believe it to be a good trade. So that's why you'll see me sit here for a day with 3.5 hours and not take a trade. Okay, possible second entry long here. So I'm going to get an order ready.
Order submitted.
There's not much room to the highs, although it is fitting in there. What's it? And I do expect it to go up a bit. So I prefer it to come a bit lower. And I'm kind of glad it's doing that. But I don't mind it not hitting because Max says it's more important that it hits the channel. Okay, that's no good for me. Leg and leg. Let me just, I'm hoping that comes out a little bit. Okay, leg and leg. Now, if we can get something bullish somewhere around here without dropping below that EMA too far, Might be interested in that. It's got to tick at least level, preferably one tick below, really. I've got a funny feeling it's not going to. I do like that. It is a lovely looking entry if we get a decent signal bar. That needs to drop level or one tick below and then finish bullish. Come on. Okay, now get up. Okay, I kind of like that. Let's see how that finishes. A little bit higher. Okay, that's not too bad for me, I don't think. Not what I was expecting.
Order cancelled.
I still like how that's fitting, and it's clearly a break, but that's no good, really. 1, 2. Leg up, maybe we're going to get a leg, and then another leg. Or possibly a triple test. The trouble is it's a bit too congested to actually definitively split up. I'd say that's one test. Maybe we're going to have to take a higher low if it pushes up, but I just hope it doesn't come down too far. Okay, so leg. Now maybe we're going to work up. Let's just mark these legs out. Okay, so let's do that like that. Okay, there's my first leg there, up, and there's my second leg. So we've had a leg up, and we've had a two-legged correction. So if we push above the EMA and give us a higher low, then I expect that to come up here. We know that's on that line, so I'm just going to move that over to there. In fact, I know that's made the measured leg right to there, so leg and leg. Hopefully it won't go any lower. Now I'd like to see that drop below there and then push up, maybe trap some shorts. That'll tell us whether we're going down or up. Okay, if that pushes up and ticks above that bar to the left of it, and then we push up, make a higher low, I'll take that. Let me just check there's nothing. So there's a bit of reaction to this midline, but I'm not major concerned as long as we can get 2 legs back and then push above it, and then give us something strong. It's holding, that's the main thing. So let's see if there's anything here that may be it's possible, I don't know. So if we can get a higher low now, then that would interest me. So we've had a leg and a leg. So let's get an order ready. I like the way it's pushed strongly above that. Now if we can give us a higher low, preferably on this line, this bit of bottom support here, that may interest me. So to me that looks like a leg and a leg. We know that's made a measured move. Now give us a higher low. It's probably just going to rock it off. Come on, give us a higher low. I like that. 1 leg, 2 leg, nice and strong right the way through. You may slice straight through it. Now, what I'd expect, whether it's going to give us, it probably won't, is a couple of legs up. That should take us close to the highs. Yeah. It's not going to give us an entry, though. That's the frustrating thing, is I pretty much know where it's going. 1 leg, 2 leg, pushed up strongly, but now give us a higher low. Come on. That's frustrating.
Order cancelled.
Now that's an area where I may have used an eval just to throw it in, put me stop below here and ride it up. So we've got a leg up, 2 legs of correction. I expect another leg up. So if we can get something down here, maybe a couple of legs back and then... That's a shame. What I might do here is I might toggle off this and trade my valuation, because for me that's going up another leg, but I'm not prepared to risk. Let me just toggle off and take over to my evaluation and go for 5 contracts. And I'm just going to buy that.
Order filled.
So I'm just going to take that up here now. Don't panic, everyone. I'm only trading my evaluation. But for me, what's that? Okay, for me, we've got a leg, and I expect another leg. Leg. So I don't mind putting my thing down here and taking a loss on this if it works. But for me, we've got a leg, 2 legs correction, and I expect that to get up. I don't mind coming back a bit. That's fine. No, it's not. I'm just, for me, we've got a leg up with 2 legs of correction. Leg up, I expect another leg up to here. It's not Pat's, but I'm just trading an evaluation based on what I can see. Now, I'd normally be looking for entry down here. It doesn't mean it's not going to do what I think it does, because most of the time when I think it's going to do it, it does it. Which is why I don't mind risking an evaluation on it, just to get an extra few $100. Come on, up you get. There is a little bit of support there, which I don't mind it coming back a bit, but for me, it may come back here, but I still expect it to go up. Now, if I can get a quick $1,000 here, then I'll be happy about that. Come on, push higher. Come on. Trigger below that. That's what I wanted. Now push up. I don't mind it coming back here. For me, it's still a leg. This one didn't just shoot straight up. It came back a bit, so I don't mind. My only concern is this is and this is the top of where it ends up. So we'll see what happens. But there is a leg, and I do expect another leg, and these legs are usually really accurate. Come on. Oh, we go. Come on, bid higher. Let's put that to there.
Stop filled.
Beautiful. Okay. That's probably going to go a bit higher, but I'm quite happy getting out there. That's why if I can work out what's going on and there's no setup, I don't mind risking a $16 evaluation from what I believe something. Now I see these setups all the time. We get a leg up, we get a perfect 2 legs of correction, and we get another leg up. Now for me, 95% of the time it hits that level. Now I'm not going to come in here with a PA because it's taken me a month or so to get them to where I want to get them to. But I don't mind doing an evaluation. And if you can read what's going on, and this happens every day, and I say we got a leg up here, 2 legs of correction, this is where I say it's going to, 9 times out of 10, you'll see it come up and hit that level. So I don't mind taking that. My problem is with the evaluations, I've been doing them on 10 contracts. You haven't got room to come back to the EMA there. So that came back and then took off. Now, if I'd had that on 10 contracts, if it came back any lower, it would take me out. So do you think it will go to the 500s? I've got no idea, mate, when it gets above that measured move. For me, we got a leg with 2 perfect legs of correction. And you can see what happens when it hits that leg, that measured move. It bounces twice and then it pushes up mega strong, doesn't it? Unfortunately, there's no setup there. So although I don't mind risking a PA there, I'm not risking... sorry, I don't mind risking evaluation. I'm not risking a PA, because if it comes back and something goes wrong, I've knackered me PA. What's your win rate for July? I don't know, in all fairness. I seem to be averaging around 80% lately. And that's averaging 2.25 points, which has been around about 1 to 1. But do you know what? I mean, last week, I think I took 5 trades. No, over the last 2 weeks, I took 9 trades and lost 1 in over 10 trades. Or did I lose 2? I lost 2. In fact, let me have a look. But one of them, I only risked on one of my PA's low contracts, and I counted that. But thanks, Chris. But yeah, most of you guys can read these. We get a leg up, 2 perfect legs of correction, another leg up. That's why I jumped in here. So I switched over because I knew I'd be able to make the plan was to try and make $1,000 on 5 contracts. But 5 contracts gives you enough for it to come back a bit before it takes off. If you'd have been on 10 contracts here, that would have lost you, I don't know, $1,500. You could have hit your drawdown, but on 5 contracts, it works a lot better. Let me have a look what I did. In 2 weeks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9 wins and 2 losses. Now, one of those losses I knew was a risky trade, but I did it on 1 contract because I tried to get that 1 contract ahead by a little bit just to hit my target. Otherwise, it would have been 9-1, which is about 90%. So if I'm very careful, I can get between 80 and 90%. The only trouble is when you're hitting at that rate, you're not taking many trades, maybe 4 a week or something like that, 4 to 5 a week. But I don't mind doing 4 winning trades a week. That's $800 per account. If you ask me what my plan is, would be to make $2,000 per month per account. There you go, look at that. See, if I'd have left that, that would have whacked straight into that. Now, I can't tell you how many times we talk about this. You get a leg up there, 2 legs of correction, and another leg, and it hits bang on and often goes higher. So, where did I come out? I came out there on 5 contracts. So if I'd have took it up to there, that would have given me $300 times 6. That would have given me another $750. But I'm quite happy to get out and not push me luck. But look at that. If anybody thinks markets are random, you couldn't be further from the truth. Look at that. Look how that's reacted to that measured move. And I could see what was happening. We had a leg up, 2 legs of correction. I was looking for a setup here. But it was that good and clear. Look what happened. Whoosh, like that. It went up 10 points in 4 bars, more than 10 points. Because you can see what's happening, unfortunately. That's the type of trade where you'll see that gorilla guy take. He'll see a leg and 2 legs correction, and he'll drop it in around about here and risk a point and to get a decent run. But you can see how that's reacted, can't you? Josh, happy Friday. Nice trade. Thanks, mate. It was only on a demo. Sorry, on an evaluation. But I could see what was happening. But there just wasn't, unfortunately, an entry for... and I'm not prepared to take risks on my PA accounts like that. But I don't mind doing it on an eval. It's made me $1,200, that did. So let's put things back how they were. 24... Always check this because I've made mistakes here. Make sure everything goes back as it is. 2 contracts. So I'll just toggle back on and then always check them as well.
Order submitted.
Check 4 PAs and an eval. Always check them.
Order cancelled.
So, clearly ranging. I'm going to copy your next 10 trades. On your neck be it, mate. I don't take any responsibility from that. But, you know, I tend to get 8 to 9, 80 to 90%. Now, unfortunately, the one trade I did take... I changed over from my PAs to the 1 PA and dropped down to 1 contract. I said it was a slightly more risky trade, but I still counted that as in with the losses. Otherwise, I'd have in 2 weeks I'd have passed, or I'd have won 9 and lost 1, and that's just trading on to between 2 and 2.25 points. But look at that, you can see how accurate that is, can't you? In fact, that could probably come down a bit. So can that, actually. Let's have a look. I mean, look at that. So touch there, look at that, look how accurate that is. And we see that, and I mention that nearly every day. So if you can read what's going on there, we got a leg up, 2 perfect legs of correction, and then woof, up that goes. Looking for a failed second entry long. Trouble is, when it's been up here twice before, there's always a possibility it could go a bit higher. So I tend to just leave it and let it sort itself out, and then where did I actually get in there? Oh no, we share it with it. Okay. Possibility at the moment, I like to say, trouble is, if you do these 2 channels, they can, trouble is, if you change those 2 channels, and you do that like that, that could be an overshoot, so it may come down. Whereas, you've got to get these right, otherwise, I'm quite happy to leave that at the moment. Now, if it continues out the top here, then I'll draw it. But for me, it's a leg up, 2 legs of correction, and another leg up. So if I draw the channel, to me, then that's an overshoot, which might mean it come down. But I'm not sure whether I'm looking for short or longs here. I want to give it a chance to push a bit higher. I'm just going to take a 2-minute break a minute. I've just got a really dry mouth. Talking too much. Okay. Okay, it might help if I can spell. Okay, let me just put that there a minute. I'm just going to switch my mic off. I'll be a couple of minutes. Okay. Remove. Yeah, there may be something. At the end of the day, I'm more concerned if it pushes out of there. If it does, let's have a look. Yeah, the bit that concerns me is, do you put it there or do you put it there? Probably there. In fact, you can manipulate that to actually fit. When I say fit, there. So it's touch there, touch there, touch there. Okay, that's a bit more interesting. Now the downside is we had this channel in, we had a break, but in a range, it doesn't always make a new low. It probably didn't make a new low there because we're quite low as it is. So the trouble is, I think these ranges are really more important when they get out the top, when you can actually start, expecting them to go higher. But at the moment, we've pushed down, we've come up. So just, for me, things are just going a bit sideways at the moment. So now that's a leg and that's a leg. So now the trouble is, that to me looks like a leg and a leg. So we've touched there, let's say there. Touched here, touched here. Let me just squeeze that a bit. Okay, that kind of fits all right, actually. It's close to that one. And in fact, you could probably even say it touches there as well. So I think that's close enough. In fact, you can pull that out a fraction. Okay, what time is it? Maybe we got something from Mac. I kind of like if Mac still hasn't posted it yet, because he may have something like, okay, that looks like a leg and a leg to me. A leg, bit of sideways and a leg. So if we can push above the EMA and maybe get a higher low, then I don't mind taking something there. Hopefully that holds. But say if you look at that, we've touched there. In fact, you could probably squeeze that a bit. Yeah, see, that could be acting as the top, really. Depends what happens here. That's the trouble, really. If you get these bigger channels, you don't know whether they're going to make a difference. Okay, let's give that the benefit of the doubt. Just take that up a bit. Okay, that's still okay. So if we can push above the EMA here and give us a higher low. So for me, that's a leg and a leg. Clearly see that. One leg down, sideways, one leg down. So if it does push up here, then I'm happy with that channel. So I'm calling the high here temporarily. So there's plenty of room up for a couple of points. What's the 10,000 tick chart? 10,000 tick chart's looking okay. Pushed up, came back, pushed up, came back. So I'm happy that seems to be aiming in the similar sort of direction. That one's a bit risky, I think, but it may work. But the bit that concerns me is that it comes down and takes out any possible stops, which is why I think it's always better to wait on the higher low when we come back. If we've touched this multiple times and it's been going up all day, then maybe I don't mind taking trades that are level with that one, because I think most of the time they'll work, especially if they're a small risk. But there, I'm not happy. I'd rather just wait. But to me, it's a clear leg down, sideways and a leg down. But I'd prefer the higher low, preferably above that EMA, because it could come down and trap people, because you don't know whether, as I mentioned, the top of the and bottom of the range are more important than the channel. So a lot of the cases, the channel will just come down and bounce, and you won't even get a retest. So there is a possibility that that sort of could be acting as the top. It's hard to say in which the case it may come down, but that's positive. So so if we can get a higher low, that would interest me. But that's reacted really nice, in all fairness. And that's the thing, it may not give us a higher low. That's the frustrating thing. I did consider just dropping another one of those evaluations in there, because we pretty much know a good chance of it's going on, but gotta wait, really. Anybody take that, did they? I still think it's a bit risky, because it's I'd prefer it the same level or slightly lower, but the ATR is still up a bit. What's that? 1.75, tick above, tick below. 2.25 trade, clearly worked. I think when that pushed up strongly above there, I think that was a good sign. Unfortunately, same again, there's no real setup. There's definitely a leg and a leg. You may have taken that one. I mean, Mac may mark it, but in all fairness, I think it's more important. I think it's a lot more important if it at least falls level, preferably a tick below, then it would engulf it. So that gives it a bit more credence, I believe. Did we get mid-morning chart from Mac on a Friday? I'm sure we still do. We just don't get the bar by bar, do we? Okay, so that now is hitting a level for me. So it'd be interesting to see what happens now. I'd say there's a good chance it's going to come back to the May. Whether it goes higher or not, I don't know, but. Oh. It does seem there's some buying coming in here. Hence that quick, that quick push up. Got to be careful going long again now. We've bounced twice there and come back down, so... Sorry, Joshua, I missed your comment there. Where did you get the news? Feed that there. That's if you're a member of Mac's Band of Merry Men. If you're not, it's $125 a year. PriceActionTradingSystem.com. Highly recommend it. But if you are, it comes as a free indicator. So my indicators will pop up on another screen for some reason. It is that one there. Called, aptly enough, Economic News. AWX Economic News, so that's it there. And you can obviously put in low impact, medium impact, high, change colours, blah blah blah, whatever you want, font and everything. So it's useful, mate. That's generally what I use, and I think what most other of Mac's traders. I still from time to time have a glance on the Forex Factory, but this has never let me down. And the good thing with streaming, other people can see it as well. And if something was missing or something was amiss, someone would tell me, I'm sure, anyway. So, but yeah, it's from Mac. If anybody's not a member of Mac's and you're looking for maybe a different method or a different way of trading, I highly recommend this, and I highly recommend Mac. He's a lovely guy. And for someone to teach you to trade and put his trades up and his bar by bar analysis every day and charge you $125 a week, it's absolute peanuts. There is a free indicator on Ninja Trader. Yeah, actually, if you're not part of Mac's, I recommend that, Sam, as well. I think I had that on at some point initially. So yeah, I think it gives you more or less the same. But I just have the high and medium. I didn't used to have medium, but we got a little spike one day, and someone mentioned some type in the Chicago news. I don't know, so I tend to have it. But I know a lot of others just have the high impact news, and anything else just I don't think. And also the US as well. I don't have UK news or anything like that. It's mainly obviously being a US industry. It's mainly just US news that affects it. $125 a year. Yeah, not a week. Sorry, did I say a week? Yeah. It's $125 a year. I mean, that's peanuts. Absolute peanuts. $10 a month. You can't grumble there. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. But I recommend Mac. I mean, if you don't know anything about him or his course, just watch some of his videos on YouTube. He's got over 2,000 videos going back 12 years. He's a lovely guy. He's from the south somewhere. He's got a real southern accent. But he's a lovely guy. And, you know, whenever I've messaged him, and he gets lots of messages and emails, believe you me, whenever I've messaged him, I always get a well thought out, nice comment. Okay, so this is just making me a bit concerned here. Because we've bounced off there and we've bounced off there, so I'm concerned about getting trapped. So this is making me a bit nervous. Should I be nervous? Anybody interested in that? It is a second entry long if it works. But the fact that that's bounced off twice is just making me a bit concerned. And it's a fair old size bar. And it is a bit congested, so I think I'm leaving this alone. There's definitely a little bit of congestion there. I'm concerned it's hit this and it may not get there. Not without it. No, absolutely. That for me is alarm bells. It may trigger you and drop, and it's clearly a bit sideways there. So, and not only that, it's a big ass bar as well, isn't it? And based on what I can see that red bar doing, I think it's highly likely that's going to get stopped out. Maybe the trend will save your neck, but I don't know. Yeah, that's got alarm bells. The fact that it's clearly congested. Look at that. Look, triggered you, came straight back down. Has it stopped you out yet? No, but it will. I can't see enough people in that trade to have a strong enough. It may work to have a strong enough bunch of stops there, but that'll almost definitely stop that out. Just the way it's. I mean, it's just the way it's triggered above that, and just it's going to come down. There we go. So. It's risky with this double top, even the fact that it's clearly sideways around there. And not only that, it's a big ass bar as well, isn't it? 6, 7, 8, 3 1/4, tick above, tick below. It's nearly 4 points. You don't want to be risking 4 points on a trade like that. So that's it's useful having this quicker internet that I've got, so we can talk more live about trades. Now, if that bar was about 4 ticks, it may have been worth the risk, but that bar, the way that's finished like that, is clearly a trap. If it had dropped below and maybe finished around here or something, then up to the tops maybe, but now that looks like a leg and a leg, so it may have another go. But you can clearly, the way this has reacted, the same level as that, I think there's a good chance that this could start to become, in fact, if you take that up to there, is that any better? There. Let's leave it there for now. I think it's likely that this could sort of maybe become the top. I'd have gotten trapped, yeah. Yeah, it's just the problem is with this hitting this area and then dropping, same again. There's clearly some resistance there. Now it's come down once and it's come down a second time. So buyers have pushed that up twice now, so they're going to be thinking. So something like that is just, and not only that, it's clearly sideways, isn't it? You've got 3 sort of almost doges, and it's just it's risky. Now, if that bar would have, finished here, maybe 5 or 6 ticks or something like that, then, I don't know, maybe a little push up to these tops, but it's not worth it. Anything that goes sideways like that is, the way that's coming down, I think it's likely we've hit the top. If it holds here, we may get a bit of a range there. Let's assume it's holding there. So that's a possibility. We could get a bit of sideways. Let's leave that there for a quick minute. See if that works off there. Lower high of the second entry long. Lower high of the failed second entry long. You know about that one there? Yeah. Yeah, that might not have been a bad bet. I'd at least expect it to come down a leg and a leg. So maybe here and then maybe here. So yeah, you'd have at least expected it to come down there. So I think you'd have certainly got 2 points out of that. Trouble is, you don't know whether it's going to go sideways and maybe work up again. Yeah, I mean, you'd have comfortably got two points out of that. Maybe certainly a fraction more if you wanted to, but Yeah, after that bar, then that breakdown, that you probably would expect a bit of a push. But let's see what happens there, see if that holds. Yeah, if it does keep coming down, I think we may have seen the top. Let's see if that starts to work. It may push back up. I'm going to fade this colour out a bit. It's that's better. It's playing tricks on my eyes a bit, that is. Green trend channel says default. Yeah, it's a bit too bright, that is. It's not distinguishing the green from the green. So let's change it completely, see if that helps. I suppose we could have sort of purple down, green up, couldn't we? Perhaps a rhythmic issue. Someone got a problem, have they? Back to place a short order on that lower high, then just got a yellow order, and just trader. Do you know what I've been getting lately? Sometimes it's with limit orders. It's been going like a purple colour.
Order submitted.
See how it goes purple initially? It's been holding there. I did it earlier and then shut it down, and it wouldn't shut down. So I right-clicked and then clicked close, and it still showed it. And when I shut down Ninja Trader,
order cancelled.
It said there was still orders open, but then when I reopened it, it had gone. So if ever you're trying to shut it down, you're trying to get rid of them, right-click or just close everything and try and shut everything down, and then just reboot Ninja Trader, and it might just be the reboot. It seems to be working for me, but a lot of the times when I'm dropping, watch how it goes purple initially.
Order submitted.
Or orange, so it goes orange. It's been staying orange, and when I've been moving it, see it goes orange for a second. It's been staying orange a lot longer.
Order
which
cancelled.
is making me a bit nervous. So just keep an eye on that. We try to make a new high. Well, they say things move in twos. Traders will try and do something twice. So obviously we had that leg and two-leg correction, and it went up, and then they tried to push it up again, and it didn't work. So they may do, but I tend to think now we're going to. I don't think they'll try again. I might be wrong, but touch. If we touch here, this EMA, then that might be the starts of a little channel down. It's just blowing a bit, yeah. Okay, the way that's forming, I'd say there's a possibility now of a channel. In fact, I'm going to move that up a bit to about there. Okay, touch twice there, touch there. Pretty good there. The underside of that, yeah. Okay, beautiful. Touch twice there, touch there. 3 times there, 4 times, 5 times. So it looks like it's come up and retested the bottom of this and then dropped quickly. So I wouldn't have thought we'd have another push up. Now there's always the possibilities it could come back here and then attract more buyers and push higher, but at the moment I'm not looking for longs. Where's the official open? There. Okay, so that's yesterday's lows. I'm not really concerned with that. Once it's passed through it, I don't find it plays as much as a part. What it is doing is bouncing a bit on that midline, so let's have a look. That could be sort of like a hidden second entry short. It has tried to get up here once. Okay, that's tempting. It's just a bit far from the EMA for me. We've pushed down. We tried to go one strike with tie. I don't think it's that bad, but I'm leaving this alone just for the minute. It's not confirmed this channel for me yet, see, so you could call that hidden second entry short. We pushed up, come down, pushed up, and it may work, but I don't know, it's just it's bouncing off that midline a bit, so that's what's concerning me. It's the midline, not quite as high as I'd like. And would that have made 2 points? Let's have a look. Ooh, I don't think it would have done. So leaving that, yeah, it may continue down, but it's just a little bit sideways here, and it's reacting to that midline, which kept me out of that trade, and it's a bit far from the EMA for me, but we pushed down. We do seem to be working down, but that's just concerning me a little bit. We'll see. The British people like to bring in hot weather. No, I drink single malt in hot weather. I do. I'm a big single malt fan. In fact, too much of a big single malt fan. I tend to drink a little bit too much lately. No, we don't drink hot tea. There's a lot of myths about British people. In all fairness, this is the counter argument there. We don't get a lot of hot weather, so it's warm at the moment. It's 24 degrees today. It was a bit warmer yesterday, but we had a great month, and then it's up until beginning of July, I think. Then through July, it's just pissed down every day, and it hasn't been above 22 degrees. But no, we're beer. See, you drink beer. You call beer lager, don't you? We drink like a dark beer. We call bitter here. It's quite a strong flavour, too strong for you Americans. But no, I drink single malt. I do. It's you don't get bad. I don't get bad. No, that's tempting. 1, 2, 3. That's a stat to me.
Order submitted.
Is I like that. It looks like a triple test to me. 1, 2, 3, and it's also a second entry short. So let's just see how that finishes. So 1, 2, 3. It's a second entry short. It's bounced a few times off to that underside line. Let's see how it finishes. It's not finishing good anyway. No, okay, let's get rid of it.
Order cancelled.
Okay, we pushed down. See, we've gone up 1, 2, 3. If that would have been bearish, it's also a second entry short. And it's bounced a couple of times off this. So I'm thinking it's coming a bit lower now. And in fact, I could probably change that angle a bit and that kind of works. It does look like it's testing this underside, doesn't it? Okay, so let's look at this. So triangle, this is a failure. Possible fail second entry short. So if that triggers and comes down bearish, then I may take that as triple test also. You don't even drink beer here. Now, I go through phases. Sometimes in the summer, I like to drink cold cider. It's kind of nice. But I went out to a friend's house a couple of weeks ago, and I took a bottle of 10-year-old Lafroig, and I drank 2/3 of it, which is a little more than I usually drink. But I didn't have a hangover the next morning. That's why I kind of like single malt. It just doesn't destroy your head in the mornings. But I do like single malt. It's smooth. See, if you've never drunk whiskey or bourbon, what you'll find is when you drink it, it burns the shit out of your mouth. Once you get to your second bottle, that goes. It doesn't burn anymore, and that's when you get the nice flavour. And that's why some people, when you introduce them to whiskey, they turn their nose up. They just can't handle it. But what I was told, I went to a whiskey tasting thing years ago. Someone bought me one, and this guy said to me, he said, have a little sip every night, and what you'll find is when you'll get to a certain point where your palate will adjust and it'll stop, but then you just get that real rich flavour. Now, I don't know whether you guys eat things like blue cheese or Stilton, and you probably do. Stilton, of course you eat Stilton, but yeah, see, that's so tempting there. Triple test, but the trouble is we're getting a bit of a channel there. It may break and push up, but I don't know if the first time you ever tasted Stilton, it tasted foul, like rotten smelling feet, but after a while you get to really appreciate that richness of it, and that's that's how I feel about single malt. It's just a rich drink. You don't need to drink a lot of it, but it's just lovely. When you've had a stressful day, just having a couple of doubles don't half take the edge off it. So yeah, I thought it might be testing this underside, and if we can get a triple test, I was hoping we were going to get it after that second entry short, a nice bearish bar there. I'd have been interested, but I think this is going to come down personally. It is testing this line, but unfortunately, you could say 1, 2, 3. You could say that's a triple test. It may work, but my slight concern is we got a little bit of a channel here, so we may have a break, and it may be pushing to go higher. So it's a bit congested, a bit sideways, and if you look at that, a lot of times we'll have a break and a new high. Now, we don't always do it. At the tops and bottoms would be a good example, but part the way through, it often will. So it's just a little bit sideways. If that finished bearish, whether you call that a first one, that a second one, that one a third one, for me, that would be the way down. And I think it's going to come down, but I'm uncertain about that little channel there. It's just telling me just to be a bit careful. Stay. Okay, that's definitive. So you may have taken that and said it was a triple test. For me, it's just a bit too. It's a bit too congested, really, and a little bit choppy. You're out. You're in, are you? Yeah, I looked at it. There's a bit of a stem on it, and that's quite bullish there. So it may just pop up, and that's what concerned me a bit. You took it, yeah. I mean, I could see what it was sort of saying, but it's just that made me a little bit. But whether you say we've pushed up once, twice, 3 times, or once, twice, 3 times, but if it didn't do that, then I would have taken that. but I'm just a bit extra cautious. That is not one of the clearest trades, but I suppose if you know what you're doing. What's that? It's 2.5 points, so a tick below, it's 3 points. Okay, so it's come down anyway, that's the main thing. So so that would be a break. Yes, it's not even really confirmed, this channel, that's another thing. Yeah, in fact, it actually kind of looks even nicer on the 10,000 tick chart. We've had a double top here, and we've pushed down below the EMA, pushed up, and then gone lovely bearish. So that kind of looks kind of nice. So it may come down quite a bit more. Have we got max out now, have we? What, this channel's tighter? Let's have a look what Matt's got. Yeah, the only way I can draw that tighter is if this comes in a bit, maybe to there. So that will be an over. I don't know. Let's see. He's taking it off early. Yeah, don't blame me, mate. Oh, talking about the downtrend, I got you. Yeah, I've gone to there. I mean, I suppose you could take it a touch. But usually off those first two swings, don't you? Let's see what he's given us. Yeah, see, max is closed here, isn't it? Let me have a look at that. Yeah, so he's got it from there. You see, it looks a bit different than mine. Hold on a minute. That's what Max drawn there. That's Max. That's Max chart. It's not there. It looks if it looks like this actually, but it's not. I see what you mean. You mean that? He's got that as a break, hasn't he? Let's have a look. Yeah, so if you're going from here, let me have a look. So he's got that there. Okay. So let's put that like that. He's got that there. And he's got that there. Okay, so we've had a break and a new high. At the end of the day, we still came up and retested it, but the fact that that's there, but okay, so yeah, he usually does this, doesn't he? Goes off there and that next swing, which is here, so okay, so that's fine. He hasn't got this far, he's done that. Which doesn't really matter anyway, because we've had the break. Okay. Right, I'll tell you what I'm seeing. Leg. 1, 2 legs of correction and another leg. So that's where I would expect that to come down to. Excuse me. I don't really think that matters. It's definitely a leg anyway. I don't think it matters whether we take it from there to there. 2 legs up. So it's a leg, 2 legs of correction and another leg. So I'd expect that to come down to here. Which is at the tops of this actually, so that would make sense. That looks like a leg with 2 legs of correction again. Leg down, leg down. It could be just a bit of a spike. That kind of looks okay. So we've touch. Let's bring that down a bit more. Okay, let me just get rid of some of these because they'd be a bit. Okay, so leg up, then down. So, excuse me a minute, I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break, but this looks like it's working in there in all fairness. 2 minutes. Yeah, there's clearly some congestion. You can see it there, see it there, see it there. It's almost identical, isn't it, that from that? So hopefully if we can get a couple of legs back here, then that might give us an entry to go lower. So I've gone from here, touched here, touched here. It's fitting nice at the bottom, so excuse me. Okay, see if we can get something here. Okay, it's clearly stalling here, which is a good sign. It's gone right up to the top and dropped. I'm tempted to take this. Anybody interested in this if it finishes bearish?
Order submitted.
It's not going to get us, is it? You sure? Oh, yeah. Just moved that bloody quick, didn't it?
Order cancelled.
Actually missed a gap, didn't it? Or did it shut up and drop quickly? You had to be quick for that one. Yesterday's lows were below yesterday's lows. I had my thingy drawn, so in fact, I see what you mean. Yeah. I find when we push through yesterday's lows multiple times, it doesn't play much of a part to me. Because if you look right, it's, you know. Okay, so there was definitely 2 points on offer, but it did move pretty quick. So sometimes you're better, and yeah, you're better off just hitting the bloody sell button. Sometimes I find you got 15 points on the NQ. Good on you, mate. That measured move outplays to here, so I do expect it to go down some more. 2 points. Yeah, it did move really quick. I dropped my order in, see if it'd come back and get us, and it wasn't having none of it. Oh, that's a shame. Okay, are we likely going to come down? Others said so. There is some clear congestion there, so. Okay, so we've had a new bottom. Got to be a bit careful here. Sometimes you go short again and it pushes up, bounces, it bottoms out and pushes up. That's where you get a break. You could call that a hidden second entry long. Trouble is, price is struggling to get below there, so risky, in my opinion, taking a trade with that much distance in the middle of this. So I won't be getting into this even if it finishes bearish. I'd like to think it would come down low, but in fact, you know what? I'm going to toggle off and just trade an evaluation. No, I'm still not a fan of it in all fairness. Let's put that back.
Order submitted.
Let's just check everything's right. Yeah, everything's right. 2 contracts. Yeah, okay.
Order cancelled.
It's still risky here. I would expect that measured leg to move out. I'd certainly expect it's likely to come down here, even maybe to the green line, but I'm just... if you take it here, there's not much room to the lows. There's certainly not 2 points, I don't think. No. It's just not worth it. That might be a better option. Just to take us to the lows. In fact, I'm going to toggle off my accounts again, and if this finishes bearish, I'll take this on the evaluation. If it finishes bearish, because you could say this is like a triple test. So if it finishes bearish, let's just check.
Order submitted.
Do. Okay.
Order cancelled.
This ends up nice and bearish. I may take this on an evaluation. Second entry long triggered, maybe a failure. We'll see how this finishes. If it doesn't finish bearish, I ain't interested. A lot of times it'll go sideways until you get a decent setup at the EMA in there. But I don't think it's going to come right in this time, is it? Now, I thought second entry short, failure. Second entry long triggered. Can open that a fraction. I still expect it to come a bit lower.
Order submitted.
Okay.
Order cancelled.
Still working that line, so I think it's still possible it's going to continue down. We've come to the side. It's just getting something decent. Get out the bottom, see, then I expect it to come down at least to this measured leg.
Order filled.
Okay, just going on the evaluation, nothing else. come sideways right from here, right to this side, and we've dropped below it. So I think that's good enough to go short. I'm only doing it on evaluation. I'm not prepared to do any lower. Just want to get close to this measured leg. It should just drop in a minute, hopefully. Come on. Might trigger that and come down. Come on, let's have you down. It's not pushed down as comfortably as I thought it might do. I might get out of this. Come on, drop down. There we go. Come on. No. Oh. Let's put that back where that was. In fact, let's leave it there. I thought for sure that was going to hit that measured leg. Well, that's a shame. All that work put to waste on that evaluation. Is it going to come and retest, or I just stretch it and take the risk? Okay, let's have a look at this. Push down. There's no reason why we shouldn't just have a break and then maybe some further stuff down. Sellers are hitting the NQ now. Okay, so that's a good sign. So we'll see. Yeah, I know. I don't because they're cheap. But I know what you're saying. Everyone's got their own way of doing things. So, I mean, we've had a break from here. We haven't hit the lows yet or anything near the lows. Excuse me. So I would... there is a possibility it could come down, but it may go even higher. So let me just put it above that one. I do expect it to come down and retest. Okay, let's just take a risk. I wouldn't do this with me PAs, by the way. Excuse me. See, it may bounce at the top here. That's what I'm hoping. So what I may do let's just put that there. And see what happens, see if I get lucky. As it's done there, I may drop that there. We'll see. I'll be surprised if it doesn't come down and retest this. That's kind of bearish, so we'll see. Let's put that there now, and I won't move it. If it hits it, it hits it. If it doesn't. But it's pushed above here and then pushed down, and I would expect it to retest these. So that's why I don't mind risking these so much, because it's an evaluation. So I'd expect it to retest the lows. So let's see. Do I push me luck or not? Let's get out for a tick. It may just smash straight through it. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave that there and just bring this down. And if it does go, let's have a look. Let's leave that there because I think it may just push straight through there. Okay, let's try and secure as much as we can. There's an extra 2 points there on 6 accounts. That's $600 if it hits that. I expect it to hit through that. Come on, push.
Stop filled.
Oh, did it hit? What happened? It hit me stop. Okay. Oh well. Okay, not too bad. I lost about $450, something like that there. I don't mind that. It happens. I got the other one quite easily. Push up. It could bounce off here or it could drop below there.
Order filled.
Come on, trap that. Once it stops below there, that should speed it up in that, I think. Sorry. Okay, straight out the bottom now, go on. Straight out the bottom. That should get me to that bottom, I'm reckoning. Come on. Just got to get below there, and that'll hit that. That'll give me more than me $500 back anyway. We're at that now, so...
Stop filled.
Okay, so that got me some of it back, not much. I thought that was going to drop. I still expect that measured leg to be hit. That's the trouble. When you are trading like does mess your drawdown threshold. Oh, absolutely it does, yeah. But to be fair, as long as you don't lose $2,500 in one go, it's never a problem. I still expect that to drop. Yeah, it's never a problem. That's why I'm just trading with 5 contracts. So I was $15, $500 down, a little bit less. than that. So that will make my drawdown $2,000 now. So unless I lose another $2,000 in one go. Once you make it back, it stays where it is now until you make it back.
Order submitted.
Let's see if it triggers above there. Okay. It's all right. There's no way I'm trading my PAs in this anyway.
Order cancelled.
So we had a small breakout that one. So leg up, leg up.
Order submitted. Order filled. Target
Nope.
filled.
What did I get on that one? $300 back. Okay. I still
Order
expect that to
filled.
get a bit lower. Let's try and get another bit more. Come on.
Stop filled.
I meant to put that tick on it. Okay. Oh, that'll do on that, I think. I still expect that to come down. I should have given that a
Order
bit more
submitted.
room.
Order filled.
Okay. Now, let's see if we can get down the bottom now. Yeah, if you wonder what I'm doing, I'm only trading the eval. Oh, there's no way I trade me PAs like this. Not now I've got them up. When it gets below there or there, I expect it to come in at this measured move. That's the only reason I'm being risky here, because these measured moves are usually really accurate. Go on. I expect it to go down to this measured move. Worst time of day for you? Yeah, I know it's risky. I know it's risky. It's how I do my evaluations. But I expect it to hit this measured move, and once it gets below there and here, I think it'll drop pretty quick. Now go. Go on. Push. Come on. Once it gets below here and then here, I think we should be all right. Okay, now go. Come on. I like when it's fluttering. When it's fluttering, a lot of the times it'll usually go. I just hope it goes my way. Okay, now push, you bastard. Once it gets below here, I think we'll be okay, and I think it'll move quick. As long as it doesn't do that. Yeah, don't go short just because of me, will you? Because it could shoot up. There is a possibility. I don't think it will. I'm expecting this measured move to play out. I've got that above my measured move, but it could just blast up. That's always the possibility. That's the only reason I'm trading a $16 valuation on it. I thought when it hit that, it would go down, so I might have got it wrong. A lot of times when we get this strong down stuff, it'll go sideways and eventually that it'll go. And each of these highs are getting lower and lower, so I do expect it to go. But don't copy me, will you? I'm only doing this because it's a $16 valuation, and I'm doing it because I tend to... Well, that's just how I do them. If I can work out what's going on, I won't put a PA on there, but these measured legs are so accurate. But it could also trap a lot of shorts. No, it's what open and stops. That's what you mean.
Stop filled.
Okay, so 15, 16, 17, 18. So I've got about $700 left on that evaluation. Okay, so I know there's a possibility it could do that. Okay, so let's just get that back. So I've got about, it went up 15. And it's down 3, so it's 1800. So I've got about 700 left. So, okay. There's no way I'm trading my watch on that anyway, PA on that, so I'm not sure whether that's going to be a pump and dump. It's certainly a pump. 700 left on there, isn't there? So if I change that to 5, yeah, that'll allow me about 2.5 points. In fact, you could trade that as a failed. What's it, couldn't you?
Order submitted.
Let's put that there. Last of it anyway. It may go up higher. Let's see if it uses that as a failed breakout.
Order cancelled.
Could say
Order
that.
submitted.
I'll break out. Let's see.
Order filled.
I suppose you could call this a failed breakout. See what happens anyway. If it goes against me 2 points odd, that's that account finished. So we'll finish this either way, and then we'll get back onto the PAs. Not that I've seen any decent setup for a PA in all honesty. Okay, another $500 and that account's done then. In all fairness, I've seen nothing that I would consider worth taking in a PA account, in all honesty. I'm not a fan of picking these tops, in all fairness.
Order cancelled. Order filled.
Okay, that's that. Okay, that's the last ones of the cheap ones. Okay, let's get back to where should we be doing it?
Order submitted.
Okay.
Order cancelled.
Another one bites the dust. You're back, are you? I thought you'd gone to bed. Okay, leg looks like a leg. Mind you, if you go on short up here, you wouldn't have done so bad. But it's the trouble is when it's ranging, that's the trouble. A lot of times it hits it at a different level. That's what makes it even harder sometimes. But it is choppy. I mean, we've come up here, you can see a couple of times, and we've pushed down, break. That's why I expected that to go down and get to these lows. That's why I risked that eval on it, because we're making lower highs. And I know sometimes, and I've been stacking them, it reverses and all of a sudden traps the shorts. But I thought once we get below that one there, then I expected a quick push. So it's worth it. Well, I took the risk, didn't I? And we've had a channel, see. Normally when you have a channel, you have a break and a new low. And we didn't have a new low, even though we consider this to be the bottoms. That's why I risked it. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. But it was the last of the $16 evaluations. And I know some people say, oh, you should treat them like this. And everyone does. Everyone does their own way. But I know even Daniel, when he's trading evaluations, trades them with 10 contracts. So people do trade them. I mean, I wasn't there. I was trading with 5, so I was giving myself a little bit more room to manoeuvre. But because we'd had a break, usually you'd make a new low. We hadn't come down to the lows here, so that's why I let that run and I just took the risk. I bust 3 evals and revenge trade in my PAs, take a break, come back and pass an eval in an hour, trade 5 contracts. That's how it happens sometimes. Did I buy over the what's it? 12, I think. A dozen I've had over the last week. Usually I got a better hit rate, but I traded them a bit silly. At least I've got something in mind here. The fact that we've had a channel which is confirmed, touch. You expect a new low, especially when we're ranging and the bottoms are down here. That's why I went for it. How many did I convert? How do you mean? 1. But I traded them a bit silly this time. To be honest, I don't know if that purple channel is correct. That one there. Well, I don't see why. Touched. It looks all right to me. In fact, it looks perfect to me. Sometimes we won't have a, but I just did it as sort of like a quick spike. So touch once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and here once, twice, 3 times. It's pushing down, going sideways, pushing down, going sideways. See whether you see normally. See if I go from there, and you go from there, you could say you've had a break. That might be why. But even if you do it sort of from there, it sort of fits, and well, you could say that's a break. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right, but it was touching so nice at the bottom, but. You know, I don't mind risking them with $16 evaluations. I traded a bit silly this time, but at least that one I had a plan in mind. And if it would have pushed down here, I'd have expected it to give me what I wanted there. But it happens. everyone does things their own way. We've all blown them. We've all done stupid things. Some people do it more than others. Some people do it less than others. But in all fairness, I haven't seen anything really, with the exception of that, but that was around the news, really, that will give us any type of, No, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but to be honest with you, for me, if I got that like that, I can make it touch 4 times at the top. So that's one thing. And then, but the bit that got me interested as well is it touching 3 times at the bottom. So, but I know if you misjudge a trade, it can make a new low. I'm aware of that. Perhaps what I should do in future is just adjust it to maybe go from there and see that maybe I have made it has made a new low. It's so hard to say, but even with a new low in a range, you'd still expect it to at least have a go at one of these instead of just, do you know what I mean? So I remember watching a video of Max, and he said he loves range days because he just shorts the tops and buys the bottom. The trouble is, if the bottom's here, and then it's here, and then it's here, and the top's here, then it's here, they're all in different places, so they're near damn impossible to pick tops and bottoms. But just usually, when we have a downtrend and we do a lot of sidewards, usually what finishes, in most cases, is a bit more downwards, which is why I held on there. I thought we might get a bit of a break, we might get this, and it may then, but I don't know. It did look to me like it was about busting. And when we had that higher low there, I thought, and when we broke there, I thought any minute now it's going to hit that and it's just going to drop quickly, and then I'd have just rammed in. But that's one of the things in getting these channels right, isn't it? But it sort of fitted really nice as like a spiking channel, touched. But I think the bit that got me interested in it just as much was the fact that it touched 3 times at the backside as well, which always gives a little bit more credence. But I don't know, maybe it'd be interesting to see how Mac. Oh, he doesn't do his thing tonight, does he? So I don't know. Maybe it is like that, and then maybe it's like that. Then maybe you say it's had a small break there and a new low, but it's definitely had a break there. So that's probably it. When do you think there's something? I don't know, mate. I wouldn't be shocked if we had 80% in the next week, but I don't think we'll have another 80% now until. I might be wrong. I thought it would take a bit longer last time. We've got the What's It week coming up, haven't we? The beginning of September. So maybe in the next week or two we might get it a couple of weekends before, and it might last over a week. But I don't think this. We had this 50% off and 50% off resets last time. It was supposed to be on for a week, but after 2 days they canned it and went to the 90% because people just don't spend. They wait for the 80 and 90% now. So leg. This might be pushing up, but am I back on everything? Yeah, I am. Yeah. But yeah, my PAs I'm overprotective of. I only trade them a bit stupid. In fact, in all fairness, I generally assumed it wasn't just a gamble. I generally assumed, it wasn't just a plain jump in. I genuinely assumed it was going to push down quick. And those measured moves are usually pretty accurate. It worked with that one. I knew what was going on and it went right up to it, but I don't know, sometimes it happens. Yeah, I know what you mean, but you expected it really to. I know sometimes with here, if this had been the bottom of the range, a lot of times you expect a new low, but if it's generally at the bottom of range, a lot of the time it'll just turn round. But because we were nowhere near what, the last couple of times, I certainly expected at least it to push down to the tops of these, which is where I had my order, but I don't know, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. froze orange highlight colour again. Yeah, mine's been doing that a lot. Mystery, yeah, I don't quite know why it's doing that. I've noticed on my limit orders, it'll go, see where if I move it, see it turn orange for a second. It did it early this morning, and it stayed orange until I couldn't cancel it, and then I had to reboot Ninja Trader. But yeah, I'm glad it's not just me that's getting that. But yeah, it is frustrating, isn't it? Because it doesn't trigger if it's orange. Yeah, I was looking for a high low there. Trouble is, a little bit sideways, a little bit of a stem there. But it did work. Second entry long. High low. A little bit more of a stem. Yeah, it is frustrating. I'm just wondering if you're better off just hitting the bloody buy button, whether that would work or not. But I wonder if it's a Ninja Trader. It must be a Ninja Trader problem if we're both getting it. What time is it? 3 hours, no trade. Oh dear. Yeah, you might be right there, bud. That might be the break. But even so, when it pushed up, it was... we're getting nice big bearish bars here, weren't we? And it sort of came down there, went up, and then ticked one above it and came down. That lower high, that's the bit that got me thinking that's going to be the push down, but it just never happened. And all of a sudden it got down so far and away it went. That's we have double top, and the measured move is from the top of the previous low. We have a double top. What's that? Measured move is from 44.69. Not sure what you mean, mate. To here, you mean? Yeah, I'm not mega concerned with that anyway. You're about there? What are you talking about here? I'm not sure what you mean there, bud. In that measured move from the top here. So the measured move for me was here to here. So we pushed down, we've had 2 legs of correction, and that's where I expected that. I think that's what you mean. That's where I expected that to go, which was closer to these lows. That's why I was that's why I left the trade going, because we had that bearish bar. We came back up, we had another bearish bar, lower high, and for a minute it broke below there. For a minute I thought it was going to drop, and then I'd just taken whatever I could have got out of it. I thought when it goes below there, but I know sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I've never had the yellow or the problem. Now I trade with Apex, I get it all the time. That's not a nice feeling, is it? I don't get it that often, but it does happen from time to time. Yeah, I wonder if you get it any different. I wonder if it happens on a...
Order submitted.
It still happens on there. It goes orange, doesn't it, for a second?
Order
it's certainly
cancelled.
A question worth asking, isn't it? But yeah, I did a trade earlier. Sometimes, because I'm trading multiple trades, I like to check everything's going, which is why I'll open an order and I'll look in my account data just to check everything's shown like it is. Okay, so touch. Let's see if we can get something around here somehow. Maybe a spike in a channel, we'll see. Now, clearly, by the way, we're pushing up. We're not coming down any lower. So if we can get something decent here, maybe a higher low or something. We got a leg and a break, maybe. I got to say, good trades are like bloody gold dust at the moment. So we've had a break there. Excuse me. I'd like to see a new low there and maybe a higher low. So that for me, touch. It's clearly got a small channel there with 3 touches on both sides of it. Looks like a spike and channel. Now, it does look like we've had a break in a new low there, and we've bunched a bunch of more times trying to go down. I'm assuming I wasn't the only one thinking we were going down, and then obviously, you know, sellers have given up, and buyers have taken over. We had a strong push, and now we're going to diff angle, so it does look like a spike in the channel. I'd like to see a new low there if we can. What's the ATR? Still a bit high. Also got to be careful. We've got a channel here with a break. 2 pushes up to a new high, so got to be careful you don't get trapped here. Because it could be a leg and a leg. So I think it's better to wait for the higher low if we get something. I'd like to see a tick low there. And then a push up before I think about going long. Okay. Now if we can get a good strong bullish push on this, which I don't think we're going to get. Okay. You done, Edward, are you? Oh, take it easy, pal. You too, mate. You too. Yeah, it's getting very choppy now. It's starting to lose its... it's all over the place. Now it's going to smash through the bottom. Okay, maybe it's going to make work down there. It's possible. Leg, couple of legs up. Let's see if we can get a second entry off here somewhere. We go from here to here. Marco marked something on his chart similar to this yesterday where we had a second entry. Second entry short, not touching the EMA but touching the channel, and he had the top of his channel like that. So gone off that first swing, there's a little push down, there's the next swing, so I'd say that's okay. So we got a leg down there. If we can get another leg down, that'll get us down into the realm of these. It does look like there's a possibility it's working that way. So we got a leg down there. That would take us down, depending on where it finished. If it did continue down, that would take us close to this green line, which is the official open. Let's see. It may just smash straight up. There's a I don't know, but it's pushed down quite strongly, so... it is frustrating though when it just drops and pushes up. It doesn't there's no sort of rhyme or reason for it. Sometimes the market's quite predictable. Other times it's almost random. Just that's choppy and untradeable. Okay, relatively bearish bar. Trouble is, it's just a first entry. 73.50 is yesterday's lows. I did have something for yesterday's lows, which is here, but I took it away when it smashed through it multiple times and didn't really seem to make a massive difference. I did have it. I usually put it there, but it's there. I mean, it was just waving above there, so it didn't really seem to straight away pushing straight through it there. It's not seemed to be holding there really. You could say we bounced off or close to it. Okay, let's see how that finishes. I kind of like that. We got that in a break. Let's have a look. Oh, I freaking hate it when these mess around. Thought we were going to get similar to this. Similar to that. Touched here, touched here. Oh, damn. If we can get a tick above there and then a drop, that may interest me. No, that doesn't. I'm not even a fan of that anymore. It's just getting choppy now. There's no plan to it now. It's just up and down, up and down. I don't see how a channel can work there. See, really, that doesn't make much sense to me. It's not even really a confirmed channel, so it's sort of pointless, really. It does look like we've had a break. It may come down, I don't know. We've had a push down anyway, and we've had a... If we can finish bearish, maybe if we can have a lower high, then it may be a leg, and then a leg. I mean, I kind of like that. Push up, break, new high.
Order filled.
kind of like it, but leg down. What are we doing? 46. We've had a push down, we've had a push up, a break, and it is a second entry short. I'm in 2 ticks lower than I wanted. 6.3. It's 4-point risk. Too much. Too much. I'm done after this anyway. I'm just going to get out for a point, I think. I'm not a fan of this. Come on, give me a point. Come on.
Order filled.
Okay. Just, I think it's probably going to work. I just got in way lower than I wanted to. I like it. We've had this leg down. We've had a push up and break. It is a second entry short. It's quite bearish. It does look like it's coming down, but I just got into it lower than I wanted to, and I'm just not a fan of that. So 1 point's better than nothing. I mean, it's clearly working. So we've got a channel down there. Depending how you have it, we've got a push up, break, new high, bearish bar. I got in like 4 points. That's just ridiculous, that is. I got a, anyway, it's better than a note. Let's have a look. What would it have done? Okay, so if you'd have gotten a tick under it, you'd have comfortably got 2 points, but leg, break, leg. It does look like it's coming down to retest this. It's pushed really strongly. We've pushed up, we've had a little break, we've hit the top and we've dropped below the EMA, so it is working, but just the way markets are at the moment, my confidence level's not brilliant, so I just took it for a point. You got 2 points here. I just want to get in and out of the trades at the moment. So 1 point, so that's not too bad. It's better than nothing anyway. Big seller at 92.25. Let's have a look. No, 92.25. Where are you looking, bud? What's the buyer's got stuck? Where are you looking? 92.25. You? No, I mean, you trading the NQ, are you? I think you're trading the NQ, aren't you? I think you're trading the NQ, are you? 79. 79.25 on the NQ. Oh, sorry. 79. Where were you looking at? On Bookmap or something else? No, you use what's it, don't you? You use footprint. Yes, footprint chart. Yeah, okay. It is working. Where did I get it? I just got him way lower than I wanted to, really. It just had a quick drop, so I would have wanted to go in there. Yes, I'm 3 ticks lower than I wanted, which is just horrendous, really, with the ATR like that. So I got out for a point, but would it have made 2 points? I don't think it will have done. Oh, it would have done. Yeah. It's not the type of trade I like doing. We got a leg up, a break. and a bearish bar. It is a second entry because it is a second entry short, but you know when you think, is it trapping the shorts again? Is it come back down to trap more shorts in? So in all fairness, somebody mentioned earlier, probably shouldn't trade it like that. Doing all that earlier probably set me in a mindset that we were trapping. I don't know, but yeah, I think I agree with what some of you are saying. It's probably not a good habit to get into trading PA's evaluations recklessly. Yeah, I don't mind trading them with a little bit more contracts, maybe double the contracts, but just take them with the rest of them instead of taking riskier for bigger points, because sometimes they'll work, but a lot of times they won't. So I think lesson for me, yeah, maybe that's a bit of a spike. Lesson for me, I think, yeah, up your contract sizes if you want to pass them a little bit quicker, but trade them with normal setups with the rest of them. Okay, so the trouble is it only really hit that twice. That's what sort of concerned me, but we had this strong push down, and then we pushed out, and we're struggling to get through that EMA, and we pushed up and then we dropped quickly, and it is a second entry short. We've had a little break and a new high. And it is giving indication that we're coming down. Let me have a look. ES footprint and DOM. Okay, is the DOM as part of Ninja Trader, or is it? What's it part of? What's it part of, bud? Okay, so at least I got a point anyway. So the DOM's part of Ninja Trader, but footprint is. Who have you got it through? Because I know that I must take a look at this, because. Is it GOM? Is it GOM? I need to start learning how to read this, just as a matter of interest. Order flow. I think we've looked at this before, haven't we? Is that it? Is that it there, Dr. Linney? Is it? Is that the order flow? Is that where you were looking at? Mind you, does that show buyers? I don't think it shows buyers at levels, does it? That. Yeah, the DOM's on Ninja Trader. You can get it, can't you? Yeah, that one is good. Emoji trading footprint is free. I'm not sure what you mean there, mate. Can you explain yourself a bit? Emoji trading footprint is free. I'm not sure what you mean there, bud. Okay, so that clearly works. See, the speed of that's coming down makes me nervous. Especially after that, I'm thinking, hold on a minute, are we going to trap some shorts and then push off again? That one is good. Emoji trading footprint. What's the emoji trading footprint, Dr. Linney? Or do I just Google it? Let's have a look. I might Google it. Yeah, because I think if it's what is it classed as level 2 data, just a company that sells the indicator. Oh, okay. Let me have a look at it. Let me just take that photo of the comment. Okay. I think it's always good to have something maybe to give you, I don't know whether you need them really with this style of trading. Possibly not, but sometimes just something, if you can see a big seller here and I'm looking, if there's a big seller there, and I can see it, and I'm thinking, and ahhing whether to go short there. Sometimes a big seller, at the end of the day, these big sellers know what they're doing. Having said that, a big seller might go short here, but he may have his stop up here, whereas mine goes one tick above the signal bar. So it may not necessarily help me, that the fact is. But I think sometimes if you've got other traders thinking, because, a lot of you might be like me, sometimes you're still questioning, am I good enough? It takes time, doesn't it? Once you start getting consistent gains and making consistent money month after month, with skill comes confidence. You'll have the confidence to say, okay, because you still doubt yourself sometimes, don't you? You make a mistake, you still doubt yourself because it's tough and we're learning. But I think if you can make, I don't know, $5,000, $10,000, whatever, 3, 4, 5, 6 months in a row, then you can't do that by accident. You may get away with it for a week or two or a few weeks, but you won't do it month after month. It doesn't always help, but it gives you the idea that there are lots of traders. Yeah, that's the thing is with this style of, or my style of trading, the stops are tight. But I know we had a couple of other traders on here a while ago, and they had 3-point stops fixed, so we don't. So that's why I like Bookmap sometimes. It just gives you the confidence that, like for instance, we've had 550 orders down at 44.50. Now, I believe that is an area of protection which is unlikely to be hit. So if I'm looking for a long here and my stops around that area, it might just give me the confidence. But I don't know. It's natural when you're learning to trade that you look for things to help you. If someone says, I use this, it helps. It's a natural instinct to go, okay, what do you use? How does it help you? But I do believe when Max says this is all you need, you don't need it. You probably don't, but it's human nature sometimes, isn't it? But I still ask myself the question, am I good enough? And it's usually after a bad day. Hell, I had a day like that yesterday, ran through every trade in the episode. Yeah, we get days like that, don't we? We get sometimes where everything runs smoothly. You get a lovely trade nice and early. I think if you get a trade in that first 30 minutes, it sets you up for the day straight away. You feel confident you're on a high and you're not under pressure to take a trade then because you're going home with one trade under your belt per account. Your job's done. But sometimes the further you get from, that is not a trade I would normally take. I would normally take the lower high, but as we've had this strong push down, we've pushed up, but it's struggling, isn't it, to get up, which is telling me it's likely we're going to have another leg down. I still think, I don't know, there's a possibility that channel may not have had a break and a new low. Let's put it back to where it was. That's how I had it. It fits lovely at the back. There is a possibility, and I have noticed this sometimes, when you have a break, sometimes it goes all the bloody way around the country before it eventually comes down and makes a new low. So, we've had this channel down there. It's gone sideways, so that has created some confusion. So there's lots of shorts trying to go short, but there's obviously some long trades. So perhaps the long trades have had a leg up and another couple of pushes up, and then perhaps the shorts are taken over. So perhaps we will make this new low. It doesn't always have a break here and then have a new low. A lot of the times it will have a couple of pushes up. I've seen a channel up here. We've had a leg down and a leg down, and then it's worked up. So you should trade every trade as your first. If you are going to take a trade, you need to have the confidence in it. Yeah, I think a lot of that comes with skill, doesn't it, and time. I've only been trading this style. I was a complete novice a couple of months over 2.5 years ago, a complete novice. I'd never had anything to do with any financial experience or trading. It'll be 3 years this Christmas. So I started this style about 2 years and a month or two ago. So I'm still relatively new in the world of trading. I would class myself as just scratching the intermediate level, where I know enough now to spot a good setup, but I still struggle with the emotions a little bit. And occasionally I'll chat with people on the Facebook group and they'll say, keep it in mind, you've only been doing it a couple of years. It's not long at all. So, but yeah, I know for a fact, and I've seen that. You see that there? We had something very similar there. We had a push up and a break. It's almost identical, apart from it's got more of a stem on it with that. And people took it, and look how quick it jumped. So it's very similar. And I think after a while, you notice certain patterns where traders, if you watch Mac, there's certain patterns that traders take. And that is a channel with a break and a new high. and it's pushed up strongly above the main close. One tick off its low, and it's literally hugging that underside. And it is a second entry short, and we've had a leg down. So, I think, I don't know, for me, it was a 70% win trade, I think, possibly in my eyes. Let's have a look. Blippy McBlip. There was a lot of thought went into that name. Is that one of those names that something just pops out? And I think you're new to us, aren't you? I think. Okay, so and have a buffer. I can be reckless here. Yeah, it takes a lot. Absolutely. If you are break even or close to break even, you are 75% of the way there. Yeah, someone else said to me, you've made it as a trader when you've got all your money back. It's taken to learn, and I'm not far off actually. But yeah, I agree with that comment. Boaty McBoatface. Right, are you from the UK? Just out of curiosity, because I've heard that Boaty McBoatface before. There was something on the news that they named a boat, didn't they? I forget what it was. And the biggest, I think, US. Strange that, because I know there was was there a ship or a new boat? I can't remember what it was. Whether it was like a search, was it like a research vessel or something like that? And they had a vote for a name, and it was a ship where people, that was it. That's why I thought you were UK, but yeah, everyone's Boaty McBoatface. Yeah, they actually did name it that in the end, didn't they? But that's why I thought you were UK, because I heard of that. But no, I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, you're 75% the way there when you break even or close to break even. Yeah, I've made, I would say, 2/3 of my money back. But in this last 6 months, last 7 months, I've had 10,000 in payments from Apex, and they're coming thicker and faster now and larger. And I've got 4 PAs, which are 150 and 200 off 2,000. So when they hit that 2.5 again, I may take another 1,000, which is what I did before out of each. So that'll give me another 4,000. So one more after that, and I'll have hit break even. Or I may just take 1,000 out of 2 of them and leave the rest. But yeah, that's what inspired you. 10k PX, mate. You are in 10,000. You're in the 99% of trades. Traders, you mean? The traders. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. I had one. I could have had a bit more, actually, but I got a bit soon. I had one in January. I had one in April. I had 2 the month before last. That was $4,000. And I had $2,000, which I got a couple of days ago. I could have had another 4, but... and I've got just done around about $7,000 in 4 PAs. The trouble is with me, I'm still recklessly trading evaluations, probably because they've been $16. But what I need to do is to just be a little bit more careful. Maybe trade a few extra contracts, like 5, but trade them alongside the rest of them. That way they got more chance of winning. Top 1%. Yeah, I got you. Okay, well, that's nice to know. At least I'm... it's given me, but it's one of those things, trading. Now, I was a bricklayer some years ago, and I remember being at college, and I remember leaving college and going on to site, and whatever site I worked at, I felt the need to tell them I was new, so don't expect too much. And then once I'd been doing it a few years, I didn't feel I had the need to, because I didn't doubt myself, because I know once I'd done it again and again and again, there was nothing I couldn't build. So with skill comes confidence. And obviously, trading is one of those unusual professions that emotions are heavily involved in, because, we're talking money, whereas most other jobs, you'll go to work Monday, Friday, you're going to get your wages at the end of the week. And it doesn't always work that way. There's a real strong emotional attachment, which is hard to manage. Now, I believe... and I've believed this for a couple of years, that the only way you're able to do it is just by keep doing it. The more you have those emotions day to day, the more you're eventually able to manage them. Now, I remember, and I mentioned this a few months ago, as a young guy, when I was a young guy, I remember going to boxing classes, I was about 14. My stepdad was in the military at the time, and he sent me to boxing classes, and I went there, and I remember going out and buying a white string vest because they were fashionable then. I remember bandaging my hands up, and I jogged off to boxing classes with my mate, thinking I was the bee's knees. And I spent 3 months where we, punch bags, pads, various different things. And I remember the first time I got told to get in the ring to do a bit of light sparring, and I got hit. And all that planning and all those rules went out the window. You switch off, you go into fight or flight mode, panic sets in, and you just start swinging your fists around, don't you? But then when you see the guys who've been training for a couple of years, they get in and they're a lot more calm, they're a lot more controlled because they keep doing it. And if you keep working and having those emotions become a part of your day-to-day, it's inevitable you're going to get used to them and you're going to be able to manage them better. But it can be done. Yeah, this is a skill. Absolutely. But my belief is if you've still got a desire to do it, and you need to, because I think you need to be a little bit obsessive with this business because it takes such a lot of time and commitment. And I'm lucky in that way because I get obsessive about the things I want to learn, and I'm not a giver-upper. But I can get to the stage sometimes where I can't sleep at night and I get up and I just look at the charts or look at Bookmap or look at this, and I can get a bit too obsessed. And that way it can feel like you're getting drained. So I'm trying to find a level where I trade for the day for 3 or 4 hours or whatever, and then I shut down and I walk away. I'll look at Mac's chart later and a couple of the other guys that post their charts, and then that's it. But I don't go back to the computer again because you've got to have that little bit of a break. Otherwise, it just drains you. Otherwise, but I like to think I'm getting better. I'm improving my, thanks for this. Is that for me, is it, or what? This is skill. Very nice, thanks for this. I hope it's thanks for me rabbiting on. But yeah, in fact, there is a second entry short there, right at this channel. But it is a little bit congested. Now, some may take that. With the boxing. But it's true, isn't it? The thing is with emotions, anything where there's a bit of fear involved, yeah, it is. Anything where there's a bit of fear involved and emotions, it makes you do. We've all been in punch-ups as young lads, haven't we? And what happens? All the rules and planning, I kind of like that, but it's way too big bar for me. All the rules go out the window and you just go in swinging because that fear and panic and those emotions just take over. And then all of a sudden, 2 minutes after it's all done and dusted, you're looking around thinking, what the hell happened? And that's the same when you blow PA accounts. It's almost like someone else is taking over. It's so weird. Yeah, it is too low, isn't it? It's getting too low for me. I remember the last time we got down here lower, bloody thing shut up. But yeah, it's too low and it's a massive bar. If it was up here somewhere. But yeah, another thing as well, another thing that I mention it to, that I sort of compare it to. Now, I remember my sister-in-law when her husband left her. I remember we went round there and she was in absolute stunning and shock. She was crying. She was in a right old state because her life had just been turned upside down. Now, that's a little bit more extreme than this, but then you go through a whole level of emotions. It's shock, then you're upset. And then it's disbelief, and then it's anger, then frustration. Now, how do you get rid of that? The only way you get rid of it is time. Now, people can say to you, oh, coming out, I'll have a drink, forget all about it. Now, you can go out and have a drink, and that's fine. You can temporarily mask it, but it doesn't go away. Those emotions stay with you for a long time. But eventually, the more you have them in your day-to-day, eventually they'll not affect you as much and you'll be able to manage them, and that's how eventually you'll get back to being the normal type of person that you are, If you don't make it in trading, try radio. Very few people can live commentary. I was actually a DJ for years. I worked in nightclubs, but not for 20 years. I used to work for my stepdad was in the army. We were over in Northern Ireland, and I used to work with some shows over there that used to have various different acts coming over, and I did a disco. And when I come back to the UK, I did a mobile disco initially for a few years, but then I worked in nightclubs, so I've always been a talker. But sometimes I talk too much. But I'm a thinker out loud. Sometimes I'll be walking down the street and I'll be chatting to myself. And someone will walk past me with a grin on the face. Me at Wimbledon. I think it's a great way of clearing a crowd, put it that way. But part of this as well is out of nerves as well. Now, somebody said to me, if you listen back, you have a little cough and a little sniff, and I have. And I know a friend who works with what does she do? In like sort of mental health. She does with people with anxiety and stuff. And she said when there's nerves, you often pick up these little tics, they call them. And I noticed a couple of people mentioned to me, you get this little sniff and this little cough, and it's I think it's out of nerves. Excuse me a second. Sorry about that. Family's just done that. But yeah, are you off? Are you done? Are you? Excellent. I'm done for the week. Thank you for all your help. No problem, Chris. You take it easy, guy. I'm about done myself, to be honest with you. See, look what happens when we come back to the bottoms there. It's almost fitted back into there. But it's not having none of this going down, is it? We may get a push down, but in all fairness, I'm quite happy. It's been a tough week. In all fairness, I think I'm up about $300 per account this week, which is not a lot because I've had a day which I missed for internet. I've had a day which I took no trades. So you're longer than us, are you? So yeah, every green is green. Yeah, absolutely. Market conditions are tough lately. There's not as many setups, nowhere near as many setups as there used to be. Now, I've heard a few people saying about, the institutional traders taking holidays at this time of the year, so there's less, volume through the market. So I'm hoping, I've heard Max say that, so hopefully that may be a slight contributor, or it might contribute to the lack of volume, slightly slower market, and fewer setups. So it's a shame about that one as well, but that one almost looked identical, and I noticed people tried to jump in there, so when that formed it almost looked the same. I usually wait for the lower high there, but I quite often see people take those trades and they always work, so maybe it's going to have to be something that's going to be my arsenal. No setup. That's how the game works. Yeah, but do you know, I'm looking back on my charts a year ago, and there was 4, 5, 6 good quality. I mean, 1 leg, 2 leg, beautiful bearish bar, a lot more trades. So whether it's the time of year or the current market climate or what, I don't really know. The trouble is, I consider myself a retail trader, so I'm just a guy who's picked this up and works from home. So I've had no experience in the financial markets where you tend to get a bigger picture of, how things work. Need to adapt. No 2 days are ever the same there. Yeah, you're not wrong about that, mate. You're not wrong. So I think I'm done today. I usually do about the 3.5 hours, but there's not been a tremendous amount of setups. Where we've come back to the EMA here, trend channel, it's been very choppy, and same here, very choppy. Choppy here, choppy here. When we came back here, choppy again here. So every time we pay a visit to the trend channel, the EMA, it goes very choppy, and it's hard to pick out a trade. I mean, there was nothing there really. That was just congested, although it worked. It's so hard to trade a lot of this. But there you go. So at the end of the day, yeah, $300 per account. No, what am I, 300? Yeah, I think I'm up $300 per account. But, some days I consider this a bad week. That's still $1,200 a month, isn't it? So per account. So it's not terrible. So look, that's it for the day, folks. I'll be back here again on Monday. So I'm going to go and have my dinner in a minute, and I'm going to pour myself a nice glass of single malt. I've got a new one I bought a couple of days ago, a 12-year-old Tobermory from, I believe it's from Speyside in Scotland. Supposed to be a nice whiskey, so I'm going to crack that open. And I'm going to have a couple of shots of that with me dinner, and that chills you out then on a Friday. So have a great weekend, everyone. I hope to see you all again on Monday. Nice that we've had a couple of faces, Blippy. But a nice chat with you. It's nice to get some more experienced guys through who have, nice positive stuff to say. Sometimes you'll get people and they'll put loads of comments, but a lot of it will be negative, and it doesn't do anybody any good, really. Some people are literally telling you what to do and you're doing it wrong rather than, a friendly suggestion. But it's always nice to get some new faces. So have a great weekend, folks, with yourselves and your families. Hopefully we may have an improved week. Absolutely. All negative does is it makes you doubt yourself and question yourself. And, constructive criticism, absolutely. That's part of the reason why I'm here. But, telling people, there was a guy on here a couple of weeks ago and he went, if you think that's a good trade, you need more screen time. Well, duh. That's what I'm here every day for. But it's a negative comment. Doesn't help. So have a great weekend. Stay safe. And then we'll chat again next week. So I'll be back Monday just before the market opens. So have a great weekend. Relax, take it easy. And I will see you all on Monday.